I want you all to think about one key marketing skill that a marketer should now develop today. And maybe a quick explanation of why. So I want everyone to answer that. And Jessica, if you don't mind starting, hopefully I'm not putting you on the spot too hard.
I think there's a lot of comments about marketers should be able to code, or marketers should be great writers. And I think great marketers are all those things. We talk a lot about a T-shaped marketer, right? So having a depth of experience and also horizontal across different functions, different departments, different parts of marketing. I think that's probably the best thing that I've learned in my career is if you want to grow to be a good marketing leader, one of the ways to do that is to have good judgment, and to have good judgment is via good experience. And to do that by getting so many different varieties of skills, not to say that you need to do it all. You can be specialized for sure. I won't say like there's one particular skill, but if any of the ladies want to debate me on that, I'd be more than happy. But I think there's certain strengths that people have. And I think if you double down into that strength, like that's a really positive thing.
What do you think, Ellie?
Yeah, so first off, I agree. I think that having that breadth and having that context really helps no matter what role you're in, because it helps you understand where people are coming from that you're collaborating with, and helps you understand how you can be most effective. If I did have to pick one skill to learn, I guess I'll lean on one of my favorites, which is being analytical. And I've worked with a lot of marketers who say, oh, well, I'm not really a numbers person, or, I was always bad at math, or whatever excuse you have. I have seen so many marketers who have said that, and then a year later been just so excited about looking at numbers and leveraging numbers to make the case of whatever they're working on, that I've definitely seen that growth with even the most skeptical of marketers that think that they can't do that. So first off, I believe that really, truly everyone can learn that skill. And the reason that I think it's so important is because of communication outside of marketing. Right? When you're working with sales, when you're working with product, when you're working with the executive leadership team, regardless of who you're working with, they're not going to know the ins and outs of all the different marketing campaigns and tactics and what have you, but they'll understand numbers, right? If you show data, that will be this universal language for getting your point across, for influencing others, for showing your stuff. And so it will help you be more effective in your role if you can speak that analytical language.
Love that. Mimi and Ashley, any thoughts?
Yeah, I actually, I'm going to build on both of those, and I would say storytelling, because no matter what your experience is and what the numbers say, at some point, what you have to do is you have to paint a picture for somebody, and you need to be able to figure out how you're going to influence and get across what you're trying to do. As a marketer, yes, you are selling all the time externally, but you're also selling internally. And the way to do that is to understand what is it that you want, who is it you're talking to, and how are you going to get them to buy into what you're doing? I mean, at the end of the day, all we are Jedis. And so the best way of getting that Jedi mind trick is to figure out what story you're going to tell and how you're going to tell it. And if using, charts and graphs and numbers is the lexicon for the, one audience, and using pictures and comics and, video is for another person, you have to be facile in how you do that. So that would be my skill that I would suggest.
Mm-hmm. So I certainly echo all those comments. I think another sort of just general skill set that's really important is being able to aggressively prioritize. And I think that comes down to being rooted in the metrics and what's going to drive impact. I just feel like our job as marketers is getting broader and broader, and there's being more tools presented to us, more options than ever. So sizing out the business case, trying to understand what the impact would be, and then using that data to say, this is what I'm going to focus on. These are my quarterly objectives. These are my monthly objectives. This is how I'm going to spend today, right? All the way down to the granular level. It's just so important as marketing gets pulled in more and more directions.